Welcome back to Soundcheck, a collaborative learning channel on this channel called Learner to Learner, where we all come together and learn about things, specifically audio, especially this hour. Previously, we have Roadcaster User Meetup, where all the Roadcasters come together and learn from each other. And now we're expanding that knowledge and the discussions and the topics a little bit wider to just audio. And let's welcome our panelists. Well, before we do that, you could also join us by participating, and I see 3 of you at least watching live stream right now, and you can see in the chat, I put the link there for you to go to the website to join us. If you want to participate and be on the panel, go over to the website learnertolearner.com and click on the call in with Zoom button. Once you do that, it'll bring you to a quick registration page so that I can send you the link via email, and then you can join our panelists like what we have here. There's double Aaron and double Maestro. This is there. Is this better now? Okay, there you go. All right, let's see. We have Arthur on the call. Hello, Arthur. And we also have Arthur. I'm juggling audio. And if they can hear me, maybe Chatter people might be able to hear us too. If there's anybody there on Chatter, he's trying to figure out the audio. We'll say hi to Glenn first. Hello, Glenn. Oh, wait, sorry.
How you doing there, John?
Yeah, I forgot to bring my audio up. No, I did hear you, though. I did hear you. Good. I'm doing good. And Maestro. Hello, Maestro. Welcome back.
Hello, John. Thank you.
Hello. And also Aaron. Welcome, Aaron. Now Mom can hear him talk better. Oh, Alan from Australia, my friend. Hello, Alan. He's also an audio geek. I don't think he'd mind me saying that. And he would be tuning into our show from Australia. It's probably working time, isn't it? Got an email on getting camera receiver free. But that's right. We just talked about that. That's worth talking about it. But we'll come back and talk about that. Arthur, were you going to say something?
Yeah. I just wanted to say hello, and I was just making sure, as you said, to make sure I had the sound so that they could hear you in chatter. Right now, we have no one in the room, but we had people coming in and out of that room in chatter, and so they were able to. There were a few people like Tony, and it was a Kevin who came by. I didn't know who he was, but there was a few other people that wanted to say hi,
Cool.
and yeah, they're
All
listening,
right.
and they might be joining you on a chat on YouTube Live. We'll
Okay.
see, but.
All right, cool. So yeah, and you can participate by, if you want to call in, you can go to the website and get the link to call in through Zoom, or you can simply go to the chat and actually drop your chat in there, and then you can participate that way. We also have people just join us. I guess Christina's here on Clubhouse, and Ray Ray's also on Clubhouse, and Ray Ray has some questions that she posed earlier that we're going to answer in this hour, if we don't go more than that. But let's get quickly talk about this. We mentioned this in the Rodecaster user meetup earlier, that Rode sent an email saying that you get if you purchase a Rode wireless micro, and you now are entitled to go register, and you are now entitled to claim a bonus gift for you, which is a camera receiver, a wireless camera receiver that you can get for free from Rode right here. So if you have a wireless micro, make sure you go to the website or check your email to see if you're able to claim that for free. You have to pay for shipping, but the unit is free, which is really awesome that they're doing that. All right. Okay. Yes.
John, I thought that I have one question here.
Mhm.
Where's Sean?
Say that again.
I thought. Where is Sean? I thought we were going to finish the
I know.
diagram that we did last week.
Maybe he wants to keep the suspense up for us for more than maybe the whole season. He's gonna. I take a stab at it, so maybe we'll see if we can do that. So yeah,
he gave us
an
part one.
assignment and never showed up. The professor.
Yeah, he was like, and he said, "This is the initial structure, and this is the beginning." And I guess we just got a prelude to.
I even
the
told
rest.
him, "You better show up."
It was like a trailer. So I want to see the movie. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Charles is now back. Philip is also back. Okay. So I keep getting a little bit.
I went down to the local university to consult with the engineers and everything. I guess all that work I did is just like for nothing. Oh, well.
Well, maybe you're the answer. You're person to answer that question. Where's Charles? I saw. Oh, here's Charles. Okay, I'm gonna add Charles to the call or to the view here. Hello, Charles.
Here I am.
Hey, I thanked you earlier for.
I know. I commented.
Oh, you did? What did you comment on? In the chat?
Yeah,
I guess
in the YouTube chat.
YouTube chat. Okay, yeah. So I think I told you it worked, but I wanted to make sure that if people who follow those questions might be interested in knowing that solved the issue. Okay, so
Nozzle
I'm
is
hearing.
here. He wanted us, and good to say hi to Nozzle.
Oh, hello, Nozzle. Good to know that you are listening / watching without me being there. Hopefully it's just going to be for a while. Hey, we need to figure it out. Like how, like whenever you turn on your microphone, you have to mute something. Is that what you have to do, Arthur? So that I don't hear, because every time you unmute, I hear my voice for a split second. Like right now.
Yeah. I'm not sure why that's happening.
So I'm hearing the feed coming back to me. But we can figure that part out since we have our assignment to do, and we can see if we can solve
John,
that.
I can tell you what it is.
And then
it's Ray.
Yes, we'll come to
mute.
yes. You get.
Okay, so mute. You have to mute. So I'm on YouTube. I can see you guys, but I'm on Clubhouse talking.
So mute your YouTube video. Mute your YouTube audio. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't mimic.
Yeah. Yes. So, it will be echoing. Drives you crazy. Do you want to go with your question?
Correct. Yeah. What?
You want to go with the question that you asked earlier?
The
brought
question
it over
is,
here.
how do you transfer the files when you're doing video? And I guess that's basically, I have to learn how to transfer files. I'm good with audio, understanding the how to get on my phone and stuff like that, but I'm not good at transferring files, so I always get a little delay. I don't know if it's because of the fact that my phone is a little congested, And I was trying to get it on a hard drive, but it's very difficult to get it on a hard drive because I don't know how to do it because I have
Okay, so let me clarify a few things help me clarify a few things. So you're saying that you want to transfer video from your phone to a computer. Is that correct?
Okay, because I think we had this discussion before. And what I wanted to transfer, like I was trying to transfer something from
Is it video or audio?
It's audio. Transfer
audio, okay.
Something
from what app?
Which app?
What are you transferring from?
The app. Yeah. Let me tell you what the app is. It's the app that's on the iPhone. I think it's called Auto. Hold
Audio
on one
recorder.
second. I'll get it up. Yeah, audio recorder.
Audio recorder. Voice memo.
Voice memo.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So what I try to do, because I do poems, I put in my stuff from whatever AI, and then I try to transfer it to. So I'm trying to do 3 layers, to be honest. So I'm trying.
Let's go one at a time. So audio, you want to transfer the audio file from voice memo to your computer?
No, to IG.
Transfer to IG.
Correct.
You mean
so
use it on
memo,
IG?
I put it on, like I'll read it out, and then I put it on a memo, and then I want to put it with my artwork on IG.
Okay, so I get, So you can't transfer it to IG? Do you plan on doing the mixing of putting your poem, which is a image, I assume, a picture, and then you want to put your reading your poem that's recorded on your voice memo?
Correct. I know you could do it in iMovie. I know you could do it on.
So you're thinking about how can you do it from your phone? Does IG let you do custom audio?
The only way you could do iMovie, that's the only way you can do it on there. But I'm trying to find a way so it flows easier for me, because I do all these, and I know you said I forgot the name of the audio thing where you can layer, So I'm trying to do poem, voice, and then music. So I'm trying to do 3 layers all in one.
So I mean, so I bet you does IG let you use custom your own sound? I kind of don't think so.
No, so what here would be, refresh my memory, but I think you use Canva, correct?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's what I would do. This would simplify your process.
Okay.
I would pull everything into Canva. And from so you can use the mobile app. Just have the Canva mobile app on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I do.
So import everything into the Canva app, build your Instagram reel in Canva, which will be able to export it as a movie or MP4. And that you can put into your reels or stories or whatever you want. And you can also schedule from the Canva app as well. So if you just want to go ahead and post it and schedule it from the Canva app, since you're already there, you can do that. That's what I would do.
Okay.
That sounds easy. So
that's way easier than the way you're trying to do it.
So if you do it on your phone, so all your media is already there.
Is already there.
Okay.
Yep. And you could just have a template. So just build out your template in Canva, and you'd be able to access that template from the mobile app, and that way you can just streamline the whole process. Do it all within Canva. You can add your artwork, you can add your audio, you can add music, whatever you want to do. That Canva can do, and then you can. One of the export options or share options will be to schedule it to your social media. And then you could go ahead and post it to your Facebook Reels and your Instagram Reels at the same time, or any other networks that are supported by Canva scheduling.
Okay, what about, so because I'm always a little techie complicated, what about GarageBand? What do you think about that?
It's more complex.
Why do you need GarageBand?
Yeah. It's more complex.
Because I have it for free and I'm not paying for it and I never use it.
But have you already paid for Canva?
Yeah, I paid for
she already
Canva
pays
and I
for it.
have
Yeah, then
GarageBand because it
use
comes
that.
with the Apple stuff.
Yeah.
GarageBand automatically comes with Apple.
Yeah,
Right.
just because you have it doesn't mean you need to use it.
Yeah, and GarageBand
Okay,
also
got
only
it.
does the audio part, does not do the video part. So you
Right.
have to do
Okay.
that separately. Okay, that's a good question. And thanks for the answer, Charles.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
use
thanks,
Canva.
Charles. You
Um,
guys are so awesome and you look so handsome. Oh my God, how do you look at yourself looking so shiny and bright in the mirror?
Thank you. Oh,
You're
so
so sweet.
I know she's not talking about me. So
why?
Me
I
either.
know
Not
you're
with
not
all this
talking
gray
about
hair.
Okay, so I heard from Alan's question earlier about the Rode Wireless Micro, and I assume, Alan, you have, or maybe it's just an general email. So yeah, maybe so, because I got that email too. I did not purchase the wireless micro. However, from that conversation earlier in the other room or the other video, Glenn told us that he's bought the Elgato prompter, and so did who else bought? Somebody else. Did you bought it through Maestro? Did you have you already had it, or did you buy it last week from Prime Day?
Yeah, I bought it for Prime.
My goodness, there are like three people. There was somebody else. Who was it? It was Rob. Where did Rob go? Rob also bought one.
We're supposed to tell you goodbye for him.
Oh, okay. So Rob also bought one. So my gosh, do you guys free? I'm an influencer now officially. just without the actual benefit, but I am influencing. Well, I don't know if I influence you guys, but we talked about it last week, and then you bought it. So I think Glenn maybe.
Yeah. You influenced me right after mine broke.
Wait, yours broke? You already have one?
Yeah. You remember I had one, but it got damaged during my move.
Oh, yes, you did tell us.
That's what created my plight.
I see. Good. So Glenn, I wanted to ask you, that was like the whole very long conversation before I want to ask you that actual question, which is, have you tried the Hollyland? Did you get the Lark M2?
It's just arrived. It is somewhere in the building, and I just need to find it.
So you haven't tried it yet?
It's been delivered. It's somewhere.
Which one did you get?
I got the. It's one that.
You got one too.
Luria recommended it.
Okay, so looks like
that's it. Yeah.
the whole thing.
What others holding up?
The full set. Okay, the Lark M2. Oh, sorry, I got my echo again. Okay, now, so say something. Go ahead.
Lark M2, John?
Huh?
What's the model number?
It's Lark M2. I'm gonna put the. Oh my gosh, it's $100. Wait, what price was it when you bought it during Prime?
It was a great price. I think it was something like 80 something.
Oh wow! So it's still cheap for $100. I'm placing it in the chat for you all.
And I checked it out. I tried it out. It was amazing.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And it's so simple to use, what I like about it.
Yep.
And the only downside, as you all heard, I actually like it. The reason why I returned it and kept the DJI Mic Mini was because of the windscreen. Windshield? What is it called? The windscreen. The wind muff?
Windshield.
Windshield. So because you saw how big it is, you have it. Do you want to show us the wind muff? The little furry thing?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can have people see that, since I returned mine, and then maybe you can demo how you use it. Okay, so that's nothing when you look at it, but look at the microphone first. Look at the microphone and then look at the windshield. The dead cat. Okay, yes, Wayne calls it the dead cat. One time in the production, I called it dead cat and the kids cried. So Okay, so that's a mic, and then try to insert that into the windshield on camera if you can. Like,
Oh man, it's a pain. Okay.
I'm
All
proving
right.
my point.
But I don't even know if I needed to use it. When I tried to
No.
use it, it actually was.
You
I
don't
was fine
need.
with that.
Typically, you don't need to, and I'll tell you why. Okay.
There, I think I got it on.
Okay, there you go. Now, can you tell me if it is on or not? Or if you have noise cancellation on or not? You probably wouldn't know because you couldn't see the light, right? So now,
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell.
now put it on you. Like maybe use the magnet and just put it on yourself on your shirt. Oh, it came off.
I got it.
No,
Gotta get the magnet. Hold on.
again, this is not to poo-poo it. I'm not saying that it is bad, but I am just for my use case. The reason why I bought the wireless, well, the Lark M2 first, and then subsequently the Mic Mini, is because I want to go live. And when I go live, I'm typically outdoor going live, right? When I'm traveling. And so when I'm traveling and having that with me and having to see how nice and small it is right now, and then just put the windshield next to it. Just bring it up and just compare it, right? It's like, a dead cat, right? So it's, and for me, it's putting it in. If you don't have the need, if you're not doing this outdoor, you have no concern because the mic is so light and so small. Absolutely love it. And it sounds great too. So for me, and I'll show you the alternative to what I have gotten instead is, I'll use this one instead. Okay, so as opposed to what was demoed, and also he's using it up higher rather than down here where you would normally do it. So that's kind of unfair. But I'm going to show you. This is my wireless mic mini. Is that called mini? Yes, wireless mic mini. And to put on the muff or the dead cat, all I need to do. Where's the other end? Okay. I can't see. It's black on black. Okay, there you go. It's unfair, right? Because it's there you go. It snaps on like this, and then I clip it on myself that way.
How much was that, John?
This is way more expensive. So when you consider that, it suddenly becomes like, okay, I'll deal with the dead cat. This is, I think, $169 if I'm not mistaken. So it's still fairly light. It is not as low profile. I like the form factor of the Lark M2 because of the profile, how low profile it is. This one sticks out way more, but it's still small. As you can see, I can remove and put the windshield on it a lot quicker and easier compared to the Lark M2. That is the whole reason why I return it. Other than that,
question: what happened to the other mics you had? The other little pin, the ones that look like a pin drop. What happened to those mics? And can you interview people in those mics too, John?
Wait, the first part of your question, which mic?
Remember the mics you had, and it was looked like a little pin, it looked like a little brooch.
That must be it. That was the Lark M2. So I returned those to purchase the DJI Mic Mini. And yes, you can interview people with it. Yes, you can interview people with it.
The new one you have or the old one?
Both would work too. In fact, the Lark M2 has a lanyard that you can have people wear. If you want to interview people, just have them put on like a necklace, put it on, and then you're talking. It looks like Charles put on his micro.
No, I don't want to do that because I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna have to hold a mic. No, I'm not.
You can also just get any attachment. They actually sell a lot of adapters that could pretend a lot of people do it for gag, which is kind of funny. You just clip this portable microphone on a spoon or a spatula. I think that's cute. That's funny. You can do
Yeah,
that like
I'm
on a
gonna start my
yardstick or something.
interviewing. So I don't want somebody holding my. No,
No,
I
you
think
can
I'm
hold a
just gonna
mic.
hold.
You can wear
Yeah,
one and then have your
yeah.
other microphone attached to another person. I mean, attached to another object, and then like that. So this is my microphone, and then I have, what do I have? My vacuum cleaner. Uh, my vacuum cleaner that I can clip my microphone on the bristle, and suddenly I'm interviewing people. And if they talk about stuff that I don't like, easy.
You're out of your mind.
So
you,
You are so
you want to know
crazy.
something funny, John?
yes.
Okay, so I'm talking about
Oh, you
New
have
York
that?
City, and it's
I have the
crazy.
same one. This
So
is the best vacuum.
You told me about it. You told me about
This
it.
is the best one that you can buy.
Yeah.
Just so
Wait,
everybody knows.
I need to put the link on there. I need to make a few cents.
what kind of vacuum cleaner? That's for your computer?
See? Well, I only use it for my computer. I'm sure you can use it for other things as well.
That's all I use it for.
Oh my gosh, that's loud. Okay, so was it that loud? Sorry, earlier. I am going to get you this link so that you can buy one too and support this channel. Okay, I'm gonna copy the link.
Okay, I'm doing live interviews. I'm not gonna.
I'm putting it into the
I'm
chat
just
right
gonna
now.
get
So if you want
my-
a vacuum cleaner that way, you can use that link. Anyway, so you can use whatever clip on anything and then just use that to point it to another person. Then you're interviewing the person that way.
Right.
So
Okay.
you can definitely do that. But I thought you have one. You have an existing. You have a mic that way, right?
Yeah, it has the the chip. It's like a
Yeah.
belt you clip on.
Yeah.
I
You
have
can use that one. You can use that one. Movo. Yeah, you can definitely use that one. It may not be the quality. I think it's okay. But I think I do like the Lark M2 sound, and obviously the DJI Mini mic Mini as well. So
I'm just gonna use my mic that I have here just for now, just to
Yeah.
see, because I'm always changing up. So I'm
Sounds
gonna
good.
try this mic and then see where it goes. I'm gonna go live on YouTube with people talking about confidence, courage, and creativity at where I work at. So people coming out the door, I figure I use their security just in case somebody jumps me in New York City. I have security by me, so that's why I'm doing it at the door, because I know the security guys.
Good.
No,
So
New York, you have to be safe, I think, to me.
Philip, did you
So,
get to check
I
out the link, the Lark M2?
I've seen the Lark M2.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. I've seen those before, and so
Yeah.
thanks for the link.
So-
It's still a good price. I was going to say, I too at times do interviews.
Mhm.
So there's the Rode Interview Pro. Got that because it could be a second mic
Ah.
when I would do just the Streamer X before I updated to the Procaster 2. It gave me a regular microphone, but then I went on eBay and for $34 I picked up a used wireless ME
Ah.
that I plug into my camera when I'm in the field.
So that's a
this goes to
receiver.
the camera. This connects directly to it.
Mm.
And then I have a backup here for recording as well inside the
Yeah,
device.
here's another option, the Rode Interview Pro that came out last year, this year. It's
Last
fairly
year.
new. Yeah. Interview Pro, then you look very professional.
I want to, John.
So that's a mic or that's a clip-on mic? That's a clip-on mic.
That's a handheld mic. You see
Oh,
that
okay.
one?
Okay.
Do you see it?
This is
Mhm.
This
self-contained
one.
mic.
There's a slight delay, so that's the one.
So honestly, the only reason I got this was because for times that I'm shooting video, I wanted to be able to have the audio feed go directly into the camera. But the simple truth is the Interview Pro
Has a built-in
Don't
recorder.
with 32-bit float, so you don't got to worry about overpowering. You get excited or loud, start talking. You know,
You can still salvage that.
but
Okay.
simply, I just wanted to be able to transmit the audio
Got
into
it.
the camera.
Was it my store earlier that said something? Who was it? Was
I
it
just
Aaron?
wanted to touch on what
Maestro, okay.
Philip just said right now. I think that the question or something that we're missing here is the trade-off, because right now you guys are talking about size, form factor. We haven't talked about audio quality, and Philip hit it on he hit it on the nail on the head, or the head on the nail, however you say it. But the point is that, I mean, you can call it, you can say, you know, Rode fan. Listen, Rode is Rode for a reason. That wireless, that nobody else has really matched their audio quality, and it's because, and there's a reason why the form factor is so big. I mean, how can you get a small form factor and the mic is excellent? That to me is like fish flying in the air. Like something's gonna have to. There's a trade-off here. So I like the fact that Philip said what he said, because that's the real thing that I think people need to understand, is that you're gonna lose data retention quality. You're going to lose things in order to get something so small so it's not seen and it looks good. But you know, I think you just got to think about, what is the purpose? What are you going for? What's your goal? And I like that Philip said what he said, because that's just the one thing that we're missing. Everybody's talking about the smallness of the thing, and I'm like, what about the audio quality? What about the you know, the data that you're going to get from that, the enrichment of that data? How good is that data? Those kind of things that I look at, my personal opinion.
Maestro, I think thank you for that. You're right. I guess for me, what it came down to was, well, first off, let me be clear. I listened to a lot of YouTube comparisons through headphones of all those products. That's one of the ways I wound up on the wireless ME, because I listened to the Interview Pro. I mean, this is just the receiver, but it's got a microphone built into it, so I want to clip this on myself and use this, you know, as a mic. But when I listened to the audio samples, this sounded as good, and honestly, a little bit better than the other two Rode wireless products. And this doesn't have onboard recording and stuff like that, but from pure sound, which is what I was concerned with, I like this. And I did listen to the Hollyland Lark. The reality is, if you want to take enough time in post, you can make the DJI mics and the Hollyland Lark, you know, you can boost up, but you gotta be willing to spend that time, you know, and effort. And I hate wasting time, because I don't have enough of it. So it was worth it that's why this was worth it. That's why this
and
was worth
it's
it.
also a different type of microphone, so it's not exactly apples to apples, right? Because if you have a handheld, the sound is going to be slightly different than your lapel or any of those, what do I call it, the portable microphones, the really tiny one. And of course you can test that out. Wait, I have a few things. So John is saying the Pro sounds better, the Rode Wireless Pro sound better. It's a little flatter, he said. And I wanted to bring Wayne's comment. Why this live stream sucks? Why is that? I need more context. I need more context.
I'm gonna say that it has to do with wanting to spend more money.
That's what my first guess is too. Anyways, yeah, that's true. You can pull
but that's
more,
why we always provide budget options.
That's right. You can pull more low-end frequencies from the Pro. Okay, got it. And of course, you know, when I consider the DJI Wireless Mini, just too many names, Micro Mini, it was purely for the form factor and the ease of use. In fact, it does not have backup recording. I'm using it for live stream. So when I go live, I'm just going to put it on and go live, and that's it. I'm not recording it, so I don't need backup. And I like how small the form factor is. So, and that's why I went with that. Plus, the windshield also was a little bit easier to put on.
So, and John, if I could say, I don't doubt.
No, I got it. Wait. Okay, literally sucks.
I don't doubt
that's hilarious.
The Wireless Pro, I mean, it better for what it costs. Sound better. I mean, sound is also subjective. My ears are different and my voice is different.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear enough of a difference in my mind that it made it worth it. That doesn't mean it's not worth it. It just wasn't to me.
Yeah.
The other thing that I would say is the assumption that I guess it depends. I'm doing voice. So the reality is I don't need those deeper frequencies because, the problem with everything below, I think a minimum of 80 hertz is you're subject to hearing things like I have a fan going off in the corner here, or an air conditioner, or machinery, or, trucks going by. All those low frequencies just kind of get in the way for me. When it comes to, so I'm cutting them off anyway. And that's one of the things I love about this is it's got a built-in, low cut filter on it. But I mean, everybody, I'm not diminishing your very valid opinion that the Wireless Pro sounds better. Probably does. I'm 60 years old. I blew out my hearing in sound rooms in my 20s. So you just got to do what's best.
And also use case too, like looking at, because John has equipment for, and I think he will only use those non-professional equipment because he does that professionally, right? And so he would probably only use it for non-professional work, meaning not client work. When I say non-professional, means like, it doesn't mean that the work that other people are doing are not good enough. It's just like you're charging your client, and he probably don't use that equipment somewhere else. But if he also, let's say if you're using this for client work, for instance, it will, even though you might not need the low end, if it does have the low end, because he used it for client work that might have a variety of voices, maybe that might be helpful for when he needs it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. I have been asked, so like the last conference I went to, people asked me why I got the wireless micro, because they know I have a Rodecaster, they know, but it was simply my use case. The only time I'm ever going to use it is interviewing at a conference, and I just wanted something I'm going to have on my phone. I just wanted something that I could quickly and easily plug into my phone, clip on 2 mics, and just record. Either record or live stream. I didn't want to have to worry about a complicated setup or, carrying around multiple pieces. I wanted to be able to carry one accessory that offered me a quick plug-in solution, 2 mics, and decent audio. And that's why I went with a wireless micro.
Now you get a free receiver
for the micro.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Remember the wireless micro? If you purchase it before, if you register it, you get a free wireless micro receiver from Rode.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And you probably got that email today or recently.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah. So now you get that. Oh wait, I think I need to look at this. John's message. Okay, so let me blow it up a little bit. The issue with Brighter mics is that you can't put it on many people's voice. Like my wife is very sibilant. I choose the Pro over me, but if you use a lab through what I say through the window. But if you use a lab through what I say through, wait, what? Sorry, sometimes like the chat is so quick. Lav. Okay, so he did clarify that. But if you use a lav through what I say through the window, so I also don't understand them. The first part we got. And sometimes like, you're typing in live and you have to type in quickly. And so sometimes like Wayne has some file. Oh, throw. Okay. Got it. Okay. So we are here and now Professor is not, which means we don't have to turn in our homework.
Did,
Sean's not here.
Yeah. I mean, I really didn't expect him to be.
So,
if I'm being quite honest.
So,
I shared.
Charles, he sounded very sincere last week.
Arthur? Well,
yeah.
So
no, Sean.
No. I meant he'll come when he comes. That's okay. He does not owe us anything. But I did do my homework, so I can share more with you. But Arthur, I want to, because this is for Arthur really. This homework.
Well, so I reminded everyone what it was that we accomplished last week with the professor's lecture, and so there's a diagram in the chat which I recreated, which was based on what you drew, and seemed to everyone corroborate that that was the correct theoretical setup. And then now we were going to go to step 2, which was about now what do we have to do physically and also technically to ensure that that process was working.
Okay, so
Right?
let me
Yeah.
pull. So this is okay. That's what we had. Did you recreate that? Why does it look
Yeah.
different? Okay, all right.
It's,
So
it's the same. It's just slightly different fonts and a little
like
thicker
that,
lines.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what we had from last week. I also have a whiteboard. So if you guys remember, let me quickly recap. We wanted to do we wanted to, well, last week we talked about the signal flow of what we wanted to get Arthur to do, which is to have a have the Chatter Studio. It's a web-based service thingy that's connected to the Chatter social app. And he wants to be able to link Chatter Studio that's running on web browser with Club Deck, that is a dedicated app on his Mac. And he wants to, and they're both teleconferencing app, meaning bi-directional communication app. And now we wanted to connect the two together so that people from Club Deck, which is people from Clubhouse, can talk with people on Chatter, and then Chatter people can hear, so they can hear each other back and forth. And so that was the whole idea of why we were talking about that whole signal flow. So, which is what we have here. You are needing. When I redid it, and maybe Charles, you can help me because I need somebody to check on my answer too. But essentially, we need to create virtual inputs, one for Club Deck and one for Chatter, and so that we can then connect so for Club Deck, we would need to have sound coming from Chatter and your mic to go as the input into Club Deck. And same thing with Chatter, you would need to have sound from your mic and from Club Deck into Chatter. So the first part, let me go to my whiteboard. Where's my whiteboard? I have it.
Oh my God, it's Godzilla. I gotta go.
Wait, okay. so let's see.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. You didn't do your homework, right? You gotta go.
This has, not that this is valueless, but this has no value to me.
Okay. All right. Great. Thanks, Philip. Come on
care.
anytime. All right. Okay. So that was from last week. Was this one right here? Last week's signal flow, which is what we showed earlier, and this is what I added to my, well, essentially I see if this makes sense. I'm gonna look at the people who are here and make sure that makes sense. If not, I'm gonna present this to you and then you guys critique me because I don't know if this is correct or not. Okay. Also another clarification. I am only basing this on Loopback. I do not know the thing that you said, the VB audio. I don't know that. So let's see if we can use Loopback as this point of discussion and then see if it works with the other one or not.
Okay.
Okay. So okay. So I would create a virtual input for when I say creating virtual input means I create this in Loopback. And then I will bring your microphone in that was like the simplest thing to understand. So your vocal mic will go into your mixer. Your mixer through multi-channel will bring your mic in. What I mean by multi-channel is in your virtual input, at least on the Rodecaster you can see all the different multiple channels that's coming out from your mixer, and you choose the mic input that comes to your computer. You choose your mic, so not the stereo mix down of your whole mixer. It's just your mic. Then you're isolating just your mic into this virtual bucket of virtual inputs. So your mic is going to be in host mic through Mixer's multi-track, and then you get your chatter audio from Chatter. So in the app, which I will show you also what the Loopback app looks like. So then you bring the sound coming out from Chatter into your virtual input. So now this virtual input is done. We'll talk about the optional thing later on if you want to play music, theme song, whatever, sound effects, or from your sound pads. We will talk a little bit more later, but keep it simple. Just two things, your voice and the other app. So now that comes in, it goes into, so that becomes your input. This guy right here is your input. So your input from Club Deck would be from your virtual input 1. So you can call it whatever it is. You can call it input for Club Deck. Same thing, same concept here on your virtual input 2. Again, you're getting your microphone through multi-channel into your bucket of virtual input, which is the mic. And then you're getting sound from Club Deck. Sorry, Professor Sean, I crossed the line. Club Deck, the sound goes into here so that Chatter can hear them. And then this mix, this virtual mix, will then go into Chatter as an input for Chatter. And then from Chatter, the output, the sound output that comes out of it, because on Chatter you can choose that, you can choose what speaker essentially or what output that goes to. That would then go back to your mixer through the whatever that USB connection is. So that would go back out here to this mixer. From the mixer through your headphones, the purple line is essentially the output. Output back to your mixer, you can hear it. And then from Club Deck, same thing. The output from Club Deck would then go back into your mixer. You may have to join the two together because on your DLZ, you do not have 2, or maybe you do have 2. You may have 7, 8, 8, and 9 or something. You might have a second output that you can choose to control the Club Deck sound and Chatter sound separately that go back into your mixer, and then you can hear it. If not, you can choose the same channel, then it goes back into your mixer, and then you can hear it.
Hey, John, how are the Club Deck people hearing the Chatter people?
Through this virtual channel. So Chatter, because I bring Club Deck people. How can Club Deck people hear Chatter, right? From Chatter, I bring the Chatter sound into this virtual bucket. And then, so the mix is in this red box is the mix. The Chatter sound, where people Chatter talk, what people in Chatter talk, that goes into, I know that's what happened to me, John, last week. That's what happened to me last week. But let's hear me out. Let's talk through this. This is group study, okay? So Chatter goes into this virtual input, and therefore Club Deck can hear Chatter. Does that make sense, Glenn? You see, Chatter sound output, black is output. So people in Chatter are talking. Their sound is being fed into this pool of virtual input 1. It's essentially like a mix. You're mixing Chatter sound and my mic, and then output it to Club Deck, and therefore Club Deck can hear Chatter.
Okay, I thought that I was getting the impression that your mic was the only dedicated sound going to Club Deck, but if we can mix Chatter in and get both of them going, then it does work.
Why did Charles? What did you say? You're here. You can speak. We should form.
I said we should form a support group for those that go crazy trying to understand this.
I did go crazy, but I cleared my mind. I didn't do my homework until yesterday, I think. And then I sat down and cleared my mind and then read it. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. I did build it on Loopback. I just didn't try it yet. So I'm not sure if it's, but critique me or ask questions like Glenn did. So Glenn, it still does not make sense to you that
no. I'm becoming more convinced because if it's coming over from Club Deck into the one on the left hand side, the mixer on the left hand side, the pink one, then we've got the sound going back out to chatter so that the chatter people can hear the club deck people. And if it's going to work that way, then it'll work the same way with chatter going
Correct.
into
Yes.
the virtual
You
one.
just reverse it, yeah.
Okay.
Now I bring it back to everybody, and you can tell me what I did wrong, if I did, or if you're confused, if you need a support group formed, wherever it is. Tell me. What do you think?
I'm trying not to even think about it, to be honest with you.
Because
Like,
this is like your
just bring
reverb.
back nightmares. Like,
But people can tell. People watching
this is why, if there is not a
This is why you need to get a roadcaster duo.
yes, yes, this is why Rodecaster is superior. But even that, so people will often ask me, like, why I use the software I do, why I use the integrations I do, or tools or online platforms, and this is exactly why. I do not have time for this. There is no amount of return of time invested that would make it worthwhile. Like, I would have to make so much money from whatever I'm putting this out there. Like, if I'm putting this out there on a streaming platform,
He is making money. I mean,
I would have to make an insane amount of money to make it worth my time.
And this is the point that I take to heart. It makes a lot of sense what you just said. This to me is a temporary jerry rigging so that I can get those people in Clubhouse to get over into Chatter, and I want to be able to do this for a short period of time. I don't foresee putting this.
yeah, joining the two platforms together.
I don't see doing this on a permanent basis. The other thing is, and again, your points are very well made. I don't have a Rodecaster now. I have a DLZ, which I put a good amount of money into. And so I wasn't looking to purchase another thing, you know.
No,
here's what I would, so taking all that into account, here's the one thing that I would say. So I understand that you have an audience on a previous platform, and you want to try to bring those people over, as many as you can, obviously. You want to try to migrate them as smoothly as possible. And so, you know, I look at it from the standpoint of, okay, I could either spend a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks trying to figure this out, okay? And so we know for sure that you've probably spent at least 2 hours on this. At least. I'm sure a hell of a lot more than that. But we'll say, for argument's sake, 2 hours, okay? So I hope you value yourself at no less than $100 an hour, okay? So let me ask you a question. If the time that you're going to spend on this, okay, one thing that you can do in Clubhouse is you could actually open up Club Deck, and you have a regular recurring room at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you have a regular schedule?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I would propose. Ditch this. Okay. Well, so,
okay, listen to this option too, and then I'll
ditch trying to figure out this willy wag of a way to get into both spaces at the same time. I would create a recording announcing where you can be found. Okay, and just turn it into a 2 or 3 minute recording. Hey, I, really appreciate all the support that we've received here in Clubhouse. I'm looking forward to serving you even better on our new platform located. Click the pin link at the top of this room to join us now live over here. And what I would do is I would set that as a loop, and I would just have it play for the entire time during your normally scheduled time on Clubhouse. Because here's the other thing, though. If you're still delivering content, okay, let's say you figure this out. Let's say it only takes you another 5 minutes to figure this out. You're still going to run into an inherent problem, is that people don't like change and people are lazy. Okay? 2 factoids about people you're never going to change. Okay? So what happens is you're delivering the content on your new platform, but you're mirroring that content into the existing platform where they're already at. So if they don't have to leave right then, why should they? What is going to keep them from not waiting to the absolute last moment to switch?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I don't think you would lose enough people by presenting a recording with a pinned link, definitely do the pinned link. Try to make it as easy on them to jump from one to the other. But you basically say, look, as of this date, we are no longer streaming into Clubhouse. We will, in case you're listening to this playback and you maybe didn't catch all the details, we will for 2 weeks on our regular scheduled sections. You can still come in here. We'll tell you about where we're at. We'll provide a pinned link, making it as easy as possible. I think the amount of people that you would actually lose would be substantially less relative to the amount of time that you're going to spend trying to put into,
So
yes, you may not get a handful put over, but who cares with all the time you save?
What you're saying makes sense, especially if we have 2 fully mature platforms that are basically, I'm just looking to transition people from one to another.
Mm-hmm.
What we don't have at this point is that we have a relatively immature platform. And by that, I mean, there's some features that aren't working. There are some glitches. There are people that can't get in because of bandwidth issues. And there are definitely some experiences within the new app that may turn people off because it's not working right. I want people to kind of, I want to handhold them. Yeah, I want to handhold them to say, bear with this. We're still under construction. There's some problems in the app. They're not fully working right, which John knows very well. It's one of the reasons he's not fully there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's one thing. I have had rooms in Clubhouse where I would have some of my community members stay in the room as I'm transitioning over and saying, okay, keep the room open another half hour or so. And as people just pop in, just point them in that direction. And some do, some don't. The other thing is my community are essentially people who are in many different countries whose English is not the greatest. And they need to be handheld, for lack of a better term, to bring them in. I do not see this construct, again, as something that I would permanently do. I think it's something that I would need to do for a period of months to start getting these people in. If you were to just dabble a little bit into Chatter, you'd probably get a better sense of what I mean. There are some things that are features that are, wow, this is pretty interesting. Don't see that anywhere else. Literally nowhere else. And then there's other features like, God, why isn't this basic thing working? And so for these community members, particularly those people who are basically just coming into Clubhouse for that one little mini experience of getting up to speed on English, they're not chit-chatting. They're not spending a lot of hours and time. They're just looking for some English practice. And so they need to be handheld a little bit. They're not dumb people. They're intelligent people, but they're not fully up to speed on this change. And they might be even someone more resistant, not resistant to the change, but like they just want to get to a simple app.
And I get that because I deal with that every day in my own company because we hire globally. And so, there's definitely things that I would like to do that I'm like, okay, they're not going to like this. So I usually have to concede into what they are typically using. And so I totally understand that aspect. But that brings me to another argument. So why, and I understand that you like this other platform, one of the things that when you're dealing with other countries and different cultures, they are very adept to using certain platforms, like it's in their everyday lives. One of those being WhatsApp, one of those being YouTube. You've got, WhatsApp being a vast majority of it. And now WhatsApp does live audio. You can run live audio rooms. Everybody can join in the audio. There's a lot of capabilities. And now it doesn't have the video. The other thing is that alternate cultures are very apt to using is not Slack. What's
I was going to wonder, does something like Discord or Slack work a little better?
Discord is very popular. And of course, all this comes down to, a lot of this is revolving around cost. Like people don't realize how much, we forget how much things cost living in the U.S. Relative to other countries. And that's something that I deal with all the time. Because they're like, yeah, we could use that, but that would cost us a heck of a lot more than what it costs you. Like text messages cost us nothing. You go to other countries, oh my God, they want to stay as far away from it as possible because it's outrageously expensive. And we don't even think about that. So I just wonder if you got away from a purely mobile app, primarily mobile app, just thinking of, because what happens, do you want to have to do the same thing again? What happens if the immature platform now never fully matures? Then you're stuck in the same situation again. And like Discord is never going anywhere. That is fully matured. WhatsApp is definitely never going anywhere.
It's just
YouTube is
I know
never
my
gonna go
people
anywhere.
aren't there. They're not on Discord. They're not, and I don't connect with them on WhatsApp because I don't share my WhatsApp number with that large community. And so,
well,
yeah.
I mean,
it's just
good point.
It's interesting. I hope you can figure this out.
I'll bring this back. I'll bring this back
I
to
think
discussion.
what you're saying is very helpful. I don't want to rely on this, and I don't want to use this for very long, but I do want to use it for a period of time.
Which is what I think what we're doing here is we're using what we have. Because if you ask me, if you have no equipment and nothing else, I would say get a Rodecaster Duo or a Pro 2, and that would be a quick, like you don't have to do anything extra. And that is not to make you feel bad. You already have that a perfectly capable equipment. But I think last week we talked about why I think this is
Send me the
unique.
Rodecaster link and maybe I'll buy it.
Who knows? But
You'll get
because
that.
it might change. Oh wait, to Charles, it might change your mind when I tell you Loopback also costs money if your AB audio, VB audio does not work, and it's $100. So, but what I'm trying, the point I'm trying to make here is if we are able to at least talk through using VB audio with the audio routing that we're trying to come up with that explodes everybody's brain, including mine. And then you try it. If it doesn't work, then you try other methods.
No harm, no foul. Right.
Yeah. And,
but there is some time wasted as per Charles.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if
my time isn't.
I don't know if it's. Wait, hang on, Ray. I don't know if it's wasted. If you think of the process of trying to find the solution is learning, then it's not wasted time.
To be true to this platform that you have.
Yes. It's for us to waste time here.
I am learning. I am actually learning about some of these considerations, and including everything that Charles said. I think it's been
Yeah,
very
valid
very
points,
useful.
and it's one
Yeah.
of the many considerations that now you can bring into your
Yeah.
decision making.
Yeah.
And that's just it. You sometimes just going through the experience, even though you may not get success, you learn about things so that you know how to assess things. And an example of that is my own plight of in trying to find where my stuff is in my massive complex. I went to
your Lark M2.
I got an email that seemed to indicate that it was in something called the mailroom kiosk, or the kiosk in this particular mailroom. So I went there tonight, and I was punching in the number that it gave me, and apparently I was in kiosk A when I needed to be in kiosk B. And apparently kiosk B is in a different building. So I drove to the different building, which would be the leasing office, and somebody manning the station there. And just as I pulled up, it was 7:30, and I got to the window. I read the little sign that said that it would be closed from 7:30 to 8 for dinner break. So, but see, I've learned so much about my build. I know where the kiosks are. I know when the lunch break is.
Valid point.
I know where all these things are now, and I'm ready the next time.
Good example. Real life example.
It's the same thing.
And I do want to learn about virtual connections.
Yeah.
And I want to learn
virtual
about
audio mixing.
the flow of devices to make sure that I'm considering, the appropriate inputs and outputs at the right locations, virtual locations. So yeah.
So
right,
we'll
can I say
continue.
something
We'll
now?
continue that conversation after we break and talk with Ray. And then I
just
have
wanted to
more.
input that I think that learning sometimes you have to be open for the long run, and that is testing. So
Yeah.
what you're doing right now, you're at the testing state.
I'm also
and you
testing
have
my
to go-
audience patience. Also, I can tell.
Right. So we're all testing.
Definitely Charles's
that,
patience.
Right. So
I'm just sitting here
saying,
trying to
I
get the
think you need to
cereal
be a
number
little
off
bit
this
more-
thing.
Let Ray talk.
Yeah, I just think you need to be a little bit more kinder with yourself towards your learning processing. And I think that you have to keep on the testing part in order to understand. If you're dealing with people overseas, you have to deal with them in their time zone as a separate project. Because you can't, if you mix the two, it's going to be too technical, and it always bewows your brain. So I say to test one side, then the other side, lower income, middle income to a higher income. But I think you should stay in the testing mode, and you won't get frustrated. I hope that was helpful.
Which is which is what the whole channel is all about too. Aaron asks, is Loopback a one-time fee or a subscription? Is a one-time paid license? I haven't paid. After I paid that one time, I haven't paid at all. There's the audio hijack. I think or maybe what is the sound effect one? The sound effect one is called what?
There was what I don't remember there being. I think
there's one upgrade.
There was an upgrade feature that came out.
Is it just the back end?
It was like a year or two
sound
ago.
source?
Like it was.
What? No, what is sound effects? What's it called? It's not called Farrago. Farrago is there.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
So Farrago, okay. That I think I paid for Farrago update maybe twice or once. I can't remember. So it is like the traditional software. It's not subscription, at least. Loopback, I have not had to pay since I paid for it the first time, which is $99. Sometimes I have no affiliation with them, so you can get, sometimes there's a discount, sometimes somewhere, especially like Prime, not Prime, what's it called? Black Friday. Sometimes there's a discount. But anyway, so Loopback is paid, and we can continue talking about my loop base. No, apparently nobody critiqued my work. So Sean maybe will. I know Sean watches this, so Sean might actually come back and say, no, this is all wrong. But what I'm gonna share is I'll share, and I'm perfectly fine being wrong. You can tell me. In fact, that is called engagement. If you tell me in the comments, if you watch, so tell me that I'm stupid, that I'm wrong. It's fine. But I'll share what I do in Loopback with Arthur at least. or everybody else who might be interested in Loopback, right? Because Aaron might be. I can see his sparkly eyes and say, "What is Loopback? Do I want it?"
Actually, I did consider getting Loopback before I got the
Rodecaster.
Rodecaster Duo. I
See,
was going to get
here's the thing.
Loopback to go along with the Vocaster, but I need because I wanted a virtual channel.
That is when, so Arthur, that is another consideration, right? Is selling your DL? No, I'm not saying that. Is selling another option? Selling your DLZ creator something that you might consider if you're gonna have to spend $100 for the software itself to get that working, and if it's gonna be a temporary thing. So lots to consider, but it's up to you. You make your own decision, but give you lots of options. So
hey, John, doesn't Sean have the DLZ? Couldn't he give Arthur some pointers with it?
Yes, if it's here. So, but he's not. So,
I know. I'm just.
But
saying,
he could.
I'm
So,
just saying.
so if you give time, like because I don't know. Everybody comes on here, as you all know, are just for fun, volunteer, and you enjoy this whole process. And same thing for Sean. Sean has his real work to do, and so sometimes he may not be here, which is perfectly understandable. So we can't tell you how long it's gonna take for him to be able to tell you what to do. Plus, he also is on he utilizes Loopback. He does not use VB audio. So what I'm going to share is how I do it on Loopback. You take the knowledge that might be embedded in there, the process, and try to apply it on your VB audio and see if it works. And then maybe you will learn from that process, and you can actually come back and tell us and test it to see if it's actually working.
No, I'll follow along, and hopefully you won't have to go to a great level of depth and detail.
No,
as long as I know what to.
I've created it already, so
oh, awesome!
I've created it. I just need to show you the process. So let me hop into Loopback. Well, I feel very organized this week, unlike last couple of weeks. As soon as
I'll take a few notes, but if you can also share the diagram with me, that'd be great.
Sure, yeah, I will. Did it work when I shared that link with you? Did it work? Can you actually go in there and actually did things to it?
Yeah.
It did, right?
No, I was able to open it up. Yeah,
but it doesn't show up on here, right? It doesn't show up for me, or should it? Or you just do it separately on the separate whiteboard? Because I only see 2 pages on there. I don't see your.
Well, I didn't put it on.
Oh, you didn't put it on the link that I gave you.
No, I didn't put it in there.
Okay, all right. Maestro said, "Oh yeah, Maestro used Loopback as well." Okay, you can share. Oh wait, you did your homework too? You want to show your homework?
I wasn't here for last week, so I'm just catching up.
Oh, so you said you can share mine as well. So meaning like you can share your Loopback. Or share your flowchart.
Just ideas, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, my Loopback just as like shared.
Wait,
idea.
why don't you share your idea first? Like what are what are the options? This is the options for Arthur, right? You're thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna follow up after you because I was curious on what yours.
Okay. I'll go. I'll do, and then you can at least cross check me and see what's working, what's not. Okay, so I need to find Loopback, which is this guy right here. Okay, so that's good because Maestro uses Loopback as well, because that's how you use your expanded export input for your Rodecaster. Okay, now let's look at this. Don't scream yet. Okay, so I turn it off because I'm not using it, right? These 2 things. I'll call it demo. So demo chatter. So these are essentially the 2 piles of virtual channels that I was referring to. I'm gonna cut to this screen right here so we can reference that. So this screen right here. So you see we have 2 pile. One is input 1. So in fact, I can actually name it the same way I name my my Loopback. So I'll call this is for Club Deck. So I'll call this chatter. No, this is not. This is for Club Deck. So this is Club Deck Studio. No, not Club Deck Studio. Club Deck input. Virtual input. I cannot type input. So I'm trying to match the name. And so that would correspond to this guy right here. This is Club Deck input. This bucket right here, Club Deck virtual input, is this one right here, Club Deck input right here. I didn't name it virtual. Anyway, so from here, we need Chatter to come in here, and Chatter is web-based, and therefore I am capturing the sound of the web browser, which in my case, I use Chrome. So I use Chrome, so how do you create a virtual, this is a virtual mixer, essentially. You see all this cable are patched, connected like the old days, you're patching one connection to the other connection, So I'll remove this and I'll do that again. So I remove the browser. Now I'm going to add browser. So I click on here on this app. I click on the plus icon and I come down and I search for the app. Where is it? Why is it not running? I thought it's running. Do you guys see? No, I don't. So if it doesn't show up, it should. If it doesn't show up here, you just look for Chrome. Why is it Chrome? Wow, Chrome. Why is it called? Why is it not here? Where is it? Sometimes, what is it called? It's like called something Chrome. Why is it not here? It's interesting.
Google
Chrome. That's why. Google Chrome. Oh, there you go. So Google Chrome, open. So that's edit. Thank you, Charles. So now it is kept. What I'm telling it is, what I'm telling the source to do, or this bucket, what I'm inserting into this bucket is a virtual source from Chrome. And also a virtual source from my Rodecaster. Yours would be your DLZ Creator Pro. And I assume, but I know when you turn on multi-track or multi-channel, your USB connection on your Mac will see those multiple channels, which is what you're seeing here right now. I have 16 channels here. The first two, 1 and 2, it says 1.2 LR. That is a stereo mix down. A lot of mixers have their first two channels reserved for your stereo mix down, which means there are multiple channels here, yes, but 1 and 2 is taking all those channels into mix it down into 1 and 2. I know my mic from my user manual and also from my website. You can go to my website, go to resource, and then go down to the Rodecaster channel. I know that my mic, my first mic, this guy right here, my first mic, this one right here, is channel 3. I know it's a bit confusing. It's not channel 1, because channel 1 is reserved for 1 and 2 is reserved for the mix down, the mix of everything. And so you want to find where your microphone channel is in amongst all the different channels. You want to find which channel is your first microphone. It might say so on there already, but I'm not sure. So once you find your mic, what I'm doing is I'm patching my mic into the output channels left and right. If I only do left, you'll only hear me on the left side. That's why I do, since my microphone is a mono signal, it only has one cable. So this cable goes to the left. Again, repeat this cable, go to the right. You have to do it twice to get those in there. So now both, I should be I see people coming in on Clubhouse, and they're really wondering, what am I talking about? Since there's no visuals in Clubhouse, I'm going to put the YouTube
and that is
link.
going to what again? The mic that splits into left and right, it's going to what?
It's going into your virtual pool, your virtual input, essentially.
Yeah.
So you're mixing in their virtual pool.
Yeah.
Virtual input called Club Deck input. So you get your mic in there, and then you get your Google Chrome, which is going to be the sound of your Chatter Studio. And then that goes into this channel called Club Deck input.
Yeah.
And what you'll do is you go to Club Deck. On your Club Deck's input channel, let me see if I can drag this guy up. So this is Club Deck. When you go to your audio settings, your input, oh, right now it got switched. It needs to be this. But your mic input now should be the, what did I call it? Demo. It doesn't show up here because I don't have it turned on. So let me see if I can turn it on. Let's live dangerously. Okay. All right. You can see now my audio is coming through. When I turn it on, my mic is now starting to come through. And when I go to Club Deck, if it doesn't show, I'll show you a trick to you guys. Input, the demo is not showing up. Sometimes what happens is it's new stuff, you have to turn it off and turn it back on. Hopefully Club Deck would see it. Input, do you see it? Maybe not. So we might have to reboot. Yeah, that's what Sean was hating on Club Deck, because it may not show up. So when it shows up, you would choose that demo input from this list of input. So essentially you're piping in the sound that you mix virtually in Loopback, taking the sound from Chatter Pro and your mic. Typically you just put your mic in, right? In Club Deck, typically you just route your microphone in as the input, which is why it says mic. But now you will not want more than just mic. You will also want Chatter Pro sound to go to it, and that's why we mix it in this virtual bucket. Okay. Mm-hmm. And same thing. Hopefully I don't have to go to as much detail now. Same thing for Chatter Studio, which is this guy right here on the left now. This will be your Chatter Studio virtual input. Chatter Studio virtual input. This will do the same thing, but instead of adding Chrome, we would add Club Deck so that we can use this virtual input for Chatter to use. So in here, demo for Chatter Studio input, you want Club Deck sound coming out from Club Deck. Use this sound and mix it with your mic. Again, this is, I know number 3 is my mic. If you need sound effects like your set trombone or something, right? From there, if you want those, you just need to get those channel add to your virtual pile as well. So on your DLZ, you will see one of those stereo channels are probably going to be your sound effects. I'm going to play it and see. So mine is 9 and 10, as you can see here. Then I would then patch this to the output for 9 and 10 so that the output would now also hear the sound pads. I don't know how, again, VB audio works, but you can at least try to see if you can translate that over.
So where I see stuff going in one direction,
mm-hmm.
that's where I would have essentially representing VB audio going one way.
You're talking about the chart or this app right here?
Well, because I'm going to be possibly using VB audio instead of Loopback.
Yeah.
Where am I?
So your VB audio, you know how it has two? You can create two virtual mix on VB audio, A and B.
Yeah.
In there is when you want to add your sources. You use A for Chatter and use A for Chatter's virtual input and use B for your Club Deck virtual input. And then in each of those apps, you just choose whatever USB output you use to send to your mixer so that you can hear the sound from those two apps, Club Deck and Chatter Studio. So you know how on Club Deck, I'll use Club Deck as an example, because Club Deck, you have input and output, right? Same thing with Chatter Studio as well. You have your speaker, which is your output, and then you have your mic, which is your input. So input, we're going to use the virtual one. Output, you're just gonna choose your DLZ creator's USB output. So for me, it would be my Rodecaster essentially, or Rodecaster chat. Or now that I have more virtual output on my, or virtual input on my Rodecaster, this is also showing up as options, which we'll save that discussion with Maestro another time on the expanded input for Rodecaster. So essentially, you're choosing your DLZ output. Same thing as what you're doing right now already on Zoom. On Zoom, you're choosing your output to your DLZ, right?
Yeah.
So use that same output to send to your DLZ so that you can hear everything.
Okay.
And then same thing on Chatter, you do the same thing. Set input would be the virtual pile that you created, either A or B, and then the output would be your DLZ. Or by a Rodecaster. But I think let's see if there's a question, and then we'll go to Maestro and see his solution and see if there's any holes that needs to be called out on my solution. Is there any question, Arthur, particularly?
I think I got it.
And plus, there's replay, so you can go back and rewatch this.
Yeah.
And you took notes, and I'll share the link. And again, it will be easy if you already have Loopback. You just kind of copy this, and you'll know if it's working. But because it's but the thing is, I'm excited about. I'm the only one excited about is that is that you are gonna learn something that you will be able to share with us. So I think that will be fun.
I will either explain to you how successful I was,
or not. That's still learning.
Or like
at least you can show us your interface.
Charles was right. It was I should never have tried this, or So hopefully it'll be the former. But I think regardless, and I'm not just saying this, just to say it. I think as I've gone through a process of learning here, true to this purpose of this channel over several months, I have learned a lot, and I've done that through a lot of trial and error, inclusive of my setup here.
Yeah.
And so, to me, it is beneficial. So, yeah, and regardless of how this turns out, I'm
with
getting
you.
a few. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's good.
Right.
Now let's take a listen to Maestro's solution, or maybe he can share. You're gonna share screen, Maestro, or what? How are you gonna share this with us? We're just gonna talk about.
I guess based on your. I don't know how much more value I can add.
Oh, so which means you
share my screen.
So yeah, and maybe it's. But is there any holes that you can poke on my setup? Because I just did it, and I need to tell somebody to tell me if it's wrong.
No, I mean, unless somebody else saw something
similar,
I think that seeing it was a lot more helpful.
Okay, yeah, I know that, which is why sometimes it would be cool. Oh gosh, what happened? Oh, because Charles stepped away or turned off his camera. It will be cool if you guys, if it's possible, share screen, so it's a lot easier for us to see and point things out. Okay, so I guess Maestro is gonna share your screen, right?
Let me.
He's gonna try, and I can see his brand new prompter casting some bright light on his face.
That's another lesson. That's a whole nother lesson.
There you go.
As well too, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, this is just my setup. I was learning, based on what you were saying and your setup. But the way that I did it for myself is I thought about grouping, utilizing the virtual channels as they are, and then trying to use those as buckets and think about what things I should put in those buckets.
Mm-hmm.
So an example would be one of the virtual channels is the game channel. So in that bucket on the Rodecaster Pro, I put my PS5, and I put my remote play. So if I'm playing remote play, I can route that audio, and the same thing with the PS5 through the Elgato the capture card to the capture card, because that brings in the audio. Same thing with the music. I thought, okay, well, Rode already has a music bucket. I'm just using the word bucket, you guys, just for but Rode has the music one. So what are the music apps that I use, and add all those music apps, as you already showed, John. Just add them as a source.
Yep.
Anything that comes up, boom. All right, that's that. Same thing with the A. There's the A channel that they have on there.
Yeah.
And the reason why I went with this is because unfortunately you can't change the names right now, as far as I know.
Yep, that's
So
true. That's still correct.
I just stuck with it. Yeah. Okay. Well, well, A for me stands for AI, and I wish I was at the AI one you guys had, but either way, B is browser because they have the B, and I put B as browser. And then, as you already alluded to, John, I've routed everything. So the browser, I route to my channel 9 and 10. The apps, A for apps, all my AI apps, I route to channel 7 and 8. The music,
Just the A, the virtual A channel.
yeah, the virtual A.
Yeah.
The music goes to 5 and 6. And then the game goes to 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I just keep it simple. I try not to overcomplicate it. When I'm ready to start playing something, or when I want control, basically all this is doing is giving me full control. I don't have to do this, but it's giving me full control. When I'm ready, I just turn it on, and when I'm done, I turn it off.
Yeah. So one thing that I want to call out is you see that Maestro use monitors, and I do not. And I'll explain why. The only time that I use the only time that I use monitors is when I'm doing my virtual. So I'll share that with you again. So all my virtual, let's say my music channel, like what you're doing, this is the only time I use monitors. It's because there is no other way for me to set in the music app where it goes to. So I have to do it with Loopback, which again, we're going to go into more detail when it comes to expanded virtual inputs for the Rodecaster. And same thing with, let me go to another example. Virtual A, I have nothing there. Virtual B, I have nothing. Oh, this one. So this is the virtual game. This is the game channel. I also have my club deck, which is my show sound effects and everything. If I want to play something on QuickTime, I route those two, and I have to tell monitor where to send the monitors to on my Rodecaster, because in Elgato and in QuickTime, I have no option to choose the output. However, in the example that I showed earlier, so this is in Chatter Studio. In Chatter Studio on Chrome, you get to choose what the output is, and therefore I don't need to rely on Loopback to do it, just to cut down one additional step in here. So in the Chatter app on the web, he can simply choose the DLZ USB, and it's going to send the sound out to his mixer that way. And that's why I don't have the monitors in there. Can you do it? Yes. But if your app allows you to choose your speaker or output, then you can simply just use that within the app itself. Just like Club Deck, you can do the same thing. And I cannot wait, Maestro, to have a long conversation and detailed conversation about the virtual channels, the virtual input channels, because I don't run across a lot of people using that, and I feel like there's still every time I use it, I pick up something new that I learned, and I think if I talk more about it, I probably will pick up a few more information. It finally made sense to me. Oh my gosh. Okay, who's the? Is that
I think it's
out
more
there
of
again? Is the echoing?
Well, I was just gonna ask, like, besides the application that I was thinking of, what other applications do you see for this? Like, you're using it, and Maestro's using it. What
other than Loopback, you mean? Or
No, you're using Loopback for connecting these and creating these virtual buckets and connecting different inputs and outputs.
Is there any other?
What I'm thinking of is like connecting two different audio apps so that people can hear each other and just.
It's a virtually routing is essentially what it is. It's a virtual mixer on your computer. And plus you can create inputs and outputs. So it's virtually mixing or routing your audio within the computer itself. And your question is there any other app other than Loopback that we use?
No. What other application for bringing all this different inputs and outputs out and into mixing it virtually? Why else would I do that other than like the application that I was thinking of, connecting Club Deck and Chatter?
So let me see if I got your question correctly. So you're asking, why do you need a Loopback to do the routing?
Yeah, to do what else are you using it for? Like, what are you using it for?
Oh, outside of using this for connecting. For me, you can see it's because of the expanded virtual inputs, which is the Rodecaster allow you to have additional 4 virtual inputs on, is it 4? What's the game? 4, yeah. 4 virtual inputs. And in order for my Mac to send specific sound to those additional 4 virtual inputs that Rodecaster allowed me to use now, I can't do it any other way unless the app itself give me the option of choosing where I want to send the audio from the app to. So, for instance, Music app, the Apple Music app, does not allow me to do that. The only way I can choose it is to choose the entire system audio and send it out to a specific channel. But I don't want to do that. I just want to send music to that new additional virtual input. So I have to use Loopback to tell Loopback to capture the sound from music, because music does not let me send it to whatever output. When it captures it inside Loopback, I can then tell Loopback to send that sound to the virtual output, a virtual input of Rodecaster. So that is the only time that I use it. So for expanded virtual inputs for the Rodecaster is when I use Loopback. Before I have my Rodecaster Pro 2, when I have my Rodecaster OG, I have to use my Loopback to do a lot of those, convoluted mixing of other apps together. And I stopped using it for a while since I got my Rodecaster because I have no other use for it. And then when Rodecaster announced their expanded virtual inputs, that's when I started using Loopback again.
Okay. Do you mind if I give a stab at it too?
Yes.
So for me, piggybacking off of what John just said, I think that the biggest thing, I'm just going to put it out there like right now. It's a way more useful feature than Call Me. I can tell you that, right? the Call Me feature, that's just my opinion. It's way more useful, way more practical.
I agree.
The second thing is, if I can keep it all the way simple, because they say keep it simple. I ain't gonna say the other word, but keep it simple, right? If you want physical capability, well, because I think that the problem is with Loopback is it's overkill if you're just looking to have control over every audio application on your MacBook or your Mac. That's what the main thing you want control over. Every audio application, you should use SoundSource. If you want to actually have control of those audio applications and you want to have a physical fader, 'cause I'm a physical fader guy. I like the physical faders. That's why the Rodecaster was very appealing, because the physicality of those faders that I know I can't afford anywhere else.
Tactile.
You want that physical fader feeling to move the audio digital to physical. That's what Loopback is for, with those virtual channels, in my opinion. Otherwise, you don't need to use Loopback with the Rodecaster.
So when you assign those channels, you assign those inputs to a certain channel, you're saying that's what I'm physically controlling on my DLZ?
And this let me be clear, correct. With the Rodecaster, because I want to answer your question. When I say the physical, there's physical faders on the Rodecaster, but there's also virtual faders too. So technically, you could be controlling virtual your applications from your computer with virtual faders on the Rodecaster Pro, or whatever other tool you're using. Yeah, so I just wanted to be clear with that.
On the right side is virtual, on the left side is physical, and the physical fader is when you use these buttons to control. These are the physical fader that's assigned to those channels. Okay, great. Go back.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's the key. I think that the main thing is adding that component to it, and then also the other thing is, I mean, no matter what unit you're using, it's that whole taking the processing off of the computer, and you're putting that pressure on the unit, and you're doing all those things. I think those are the two main things. You want that physical fader control of some or virtual fader control, but off of your digital,
Computer.
off of your computer, and or you want that second part that I just mentioned, where you want the processing, you want not just the control of the physical fading and the volume, but you want those effects that you have on whatever you're using. You want those other things all on that you want your computer to breathe, because we all need to breathe. I think those are the two main things. Other than that, I don't see there being much for most people, much value.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So it gives us the flexibility that Windows users already have. And as you know, Mac control their system sometimes so tightly that it sometimes could cause issue that you would need a third-party app to do. And this is one of them. And so it's useful. I mean, I have it and I need to use it now because I wanted to fully utilize the virtual expanded virtual inputs of the Rodecaster feature. Now I can do it. And again, we're going to talk more about it in the future with Maestro. And so
I will give it a shot.
And then to kind of get back to the DLZ, you will only have one, if I'm not mistaken, too, since I'm not very familiar with it, unfortunately, is when you send on your chatter out, you send on your chatter, your speaker, you set it to your DLZ, right? Right now when you go on. So essentially, you don't need to change anything on there because that you already send that to your DLZ. In Club Deck, I am not sure if there's an additional USB out additional channel or not. I kind of think there is. There's like 2 additional channel you can send signal from your computer to your DLZ to a separate channel. If you're able to, you would send that to a separate channel so that you can then use 2 separate faders to control how loud your Chatter Pro sound is and your Club Deck sound is. So you can mix it on your actual DLZ mixer. If it does not, you can then send both Chatter Pro sound and Club Deck sound into your DLZ USB fader. One fader will control both. One thing to be mindful is, that's why I said it's very important to use the multi-track. When I talk about this screen right here, to use the multi-track mic is so that you don't get your sound of your other apps going back into their app, which is what we call sometimes jokingly call mix plus. Mix minus would be whatever app that you are sending sound talking to, like the Chatter Pro people are talking to you. You want to have the entire mix from your mixer back to Chatter Pro, except minus their track. So that's why mix minus is you want the whole mix minus their own sound, so they don't hear a slapback, or what sometimes commonly known as echo. They hear themselves again, like what we've been when you open your mic, sometimes we hear ourselves kicking in, and I think Zoom is probably doing the cancellation. If you have, do you have right now original sound for musicians on or off, Arthur?
It is off.
Okay, so if you turn on, I suspect that I will hear a lot of slapback. And yeah, there you go. So I hear Zoom is taking that echo / it's properly termed slapback out very nicely, very effectively, but your actual signal is incorrect. So we hear that echo right at the way you route it. With this virtual method, it's going to because my sound right now is coming from your mixer, so it's giving me everything. And so you got to do a mix minus. You got to take the sound that is coming out from Zoom out from how the mix from your mixer going into Zoom. So that's why it's important when you go to this screen, no, not this one, this screen, to pull only your mic and not all the sound from the mixer. It's important to just pull your mic from the multi-channel options.
Okay.
So this is what it looks like in Loopback. This is my multi-track. I have 16 tracks here. I only want track 3, channel 3, not track. Channel 3 to go into my virtual input, not.
And you have it being split.
Yeah, I have it split. I'll actually do it for you. It's kind of cool. So I have these two selected. I'm gonna delete it, and now I want mic 3. If you only do this, so you see how I drag that little cable? So essentially, it's like physical wire almost connecting. Patch it. Now, when I speak, let me turn on. When I speak, it only. Oh wait, test. Oh wait, where am I? Oh. I'm going to turn this on so you can see the physical signal. So if I guess club deck is coming in. If I take club deck off, I wanted you to see the signal from 3, which is my mic, that goes into channel 1 only. It's just going to go to one side, only the left side. And therefore, I wanted to, I don't know how your virtual VB, what's called VB audio works, but on Loopback, it's just like a patch. So what I wanted to do is I want my sound also to go to the right channel because my source is mono. I'll just do this. I'll go here and I grab this again and then put the same signal onto the right channel. Now I have my output have both same signal rather than just empty channel on the right side.
Mm-hmm. They're the same signal, though.
Yeah, exactly. The repeated signal.
Okay.
So hopefully that is something that you can take with you and apply it to your own setup on your DLZ and see if that's going to solve at least a temporary solve for what you do. I would like to when I have time, but since I don't, you're going to help me learn it. If I have time, I would install VB Audio, test it out, and then tell you exactly what to do. But what's the fun of it? Then you don't get the fun of exploring. So now you get to go explore and play with it, and then come back and report to us and see how it goes.
I'll do that. It may not be next week, but it'll be soon.
There you go.
Okay. Right.
Anybody else have any comments? Any additional topic?
And thank everyone else for their patience as well. I appreciate it.
Sure. I love it. I mean, I don't know if you can tell the excitement when I share this because the learning part is the learning and then testing and trying is what excites me, which is that's the whole reason why I started this channel is so that I can do this with you all. Because I know if I'm learning by myself, I have to do all the research. Look at what Maestro, how many questions already he answered. Charles already answered. Or even if you don't answer the question that's asked, even if you ask that question and that's not the question that I thought of, I also learned it from you. So that's why I'm so excited. So don't blame me if your head explode. But better yet, if you find the solution that I have for the loopback solution that I presented, if you find something that I did wrong, tell me because I want to learn. All right, other people, any other things that you want to bring up before we go? Oh, Kitty. Charles,
I'm curious on how you guys get rid of this thing on the Gato. Unless there's 5 people in
here.
The
glow.
Not everybody. Like, how do you get rid of this thing?
Okay, let's jump into. Wait, you're talking about the glow on the image?
Yeah, okay. the glow. Yeah.
So
it's terrible.
What you need to do is just to lower the brightness of. Are you using eCam? So
yes.
How are you putting are you sending out like your eCam live program on the window onto that? Like what image are you spitting out? How are you using your
Zoom? is on the display.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's good. So your Zoom window, meeting window, is in the display. You would need your what's it called? Camera hub
Yeah, I see. Right when you said what you said, I brought it
display.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in your
Okay.
camera hub, and you can go. Let me see if I can show you.
Oh,
So in your camera hub, my brightness is only 48%.
I'm at 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why. And of course, it depends on what it is. In Zoom call, it probably isn't as important because the interface, if you have a darker interface, if you happen to have, like, let's say if you have maybe, let's say have Glenn's backgrounds white, now that's going to cast a lot of white light onto your through the glass into your lens, and therefore you're going to see that little glow on there. I keep mine about halfway. Sometimes depending on the screen, you can go more, but I get used to it. So you're not gonna, like, if I have myself, if I crank up my brightness, you can see already it washes out my picture already. It gets that little blue tint in there. So I keep mine. Is it showing for you all? Can you see the haze?
Yeah.
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 Okay. So
Yes.
so that's how, if you have an Elgato prompter, that's another tip. See, learn another new thing here. Change your display brightness so that you can control how much light you push onto your display. I guess it's essentially your display, your Elgato prompter display.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good. Anything else? I see Aaron's comment here. Actually, when I saw the cost of Loopback a while back, I looked at it as a 100% discount on getting my Rodecaster Duo and skipped the software. There's the usage is still there. Like, now you can't utilize fully. You can use some of the expanded virtual input, but you can't use it fully. So for instance, if you use Apple Music, then you have to somehow find an app to route the sound from your Apple Music only, to your music channel on your Rodecaster. Yay! I feel so accomplished. I'm so happy. Of course, we went past 1 hour, but anyway, I learned a lot today.
I have a more of a personal question.
Yes. Yes. Should I keep it on air?
Yeah. No, it's totally fine. My daughter is going to be going to Malaysia.
Wow. Do you know where?
Kuala Lumpur, and then there's another place she's going to be going to, and this is this weekend.
Oh, wow.
And she's doing a personal trip for a couple weeks.
Nice.
My question for you is that, she's only going to be there for a little over 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What should she do as far as phone connection and contact for just that period of time? We have a Verizon plan here. I don't want to necessarily do something to get long distance. What have you done?
Have a good question. Okay, something I know. So there are two options. One, the simplest one, is to call Verizon and check to see if you have international data, because I don't know if phone call is a must. If you have other means of calling people, let's say using WhatsApp, we were just talking about, or
well, she's going to be
FaceTime.
traveling, and she may not have Wi-Fi depending on where she is and stuff.
So if using data is okay, because unless she's going into the forest and like really deep, well, then you don't have cell service anyway. So if she's she needs to call somebody, if she can use like FaceTime audio or FaceTime or WhatsApp to call, then as long as they have data on the phone, she'll be fine. And there are two ways of doing that. One is to call Verizon and see if you have international roaming or not. A lot of newer plans allow, back then it's very expensive. If you have international roaming, when you arrive in that country, for at least my plan, it has a one-time charge of I don't know how much you have to find from Verizon. Usually there's like a one-time charge, either for the week or for whenever you're there, and it usually costs around $10 to $20, and then it allows you to use data in that country. Sometimes there's a limit, like a 5 gig or 2 gig data.
Yeah.
That allows you to then use it as if she's connected to the data, not Wi-Fi, but data through cellular, because it's roaming agreements with Malaysia.
Yeah.
So check with Verizon for that. That I think would probably be the simplest. And
Yeah, I was wondering like if she needed to get another like a temporary phone or
there
something.
There is eSIM that you can do. I think Aaron also mentioned Saley is another person that I hear that name quite a bit. So if she has an eSIM available on her phone, she can probably go to I think it's Saley.com. I don't know. Is it, Aaron? Do you know much about it? There are a lot of like eSIM option out there.
I could have done a quick search, but
yeah,
I just
eSIM
figured
is
I'd
one of
ask you
them.
a quick question.
That's not
Okay.
my second solution, but that's like an additional solution for you too. Verizon Travel Pass is $12 a line. Okay, so it's $12 per line per day. So I guess it's every day would be. Oh, you have unlimited calls too. That might be more.
Yeah,
pricey.
that gets you. So the travel pass is a little bit more in depth, and that's why it's $12 a line per day.
Because it will
include
calls too.
Right. You get unlimited data, unlimited calls, unlimited text messages. So you get much the same experience as you would in the US, just internationally. So, and that plan is on 200 plus countries.
And I'm quite certain that they also have one that is just data, that is not does not include calls and text, and it will be cheaper, I think. So that would be the option that I would say would probably work. Wait, what is it? 3 gig 30? Is that Saley? Okay, Saley credit. Okay.
Yeah, I was watching something.
I know they've been on
Japan
promo.
influencer.
Yeah,
and this was an ad she posted. It was like 2 days ago, and I was
Ads
like,
work, I
let me
guess.
save it.
So
All right, thanks.
My other solution is to go and get one locally if you want to. That the only downside to that is you won't have a functioning phone until you're able to go purchase either a physical SIM card, which is a prepaid local number, so it's like a burner number essentially. And she has a phone that has a physical SIM card. She can then pop it in, buy it, and then pop it in. It will be that way. There's also eSIM solution. It's a little bit more complicated. You have to go to a store and then register with your passport and so forth for them to issue you an eSIM. But going through Saley or third-party companies would be easier to set it up even before you land. Once you land, you can just turn on that line and you can use the phone. So those are the 3 options.
Thank you. No, that helps. And she's got a few days to set this up. So
and
I've always used the travel pass. It is more expensive, but anytime that I've had to travel for conferences and things like that, it's just the last thing I want to worry about. And I just want to be able to take my phone and it work.
And $12 a day is actually not expensive compared to what it used to be. When I traveled with my husband a few years, it's 2017, so however many years ago, 5 years ago. I don't know. I can't do math. 2017.
5 years ago.
Okay. So
it's
2025. 8 years ago. 8 years ago.
2025, John.
8 years ago. 8 years ago. He accidentally turned on data roaming, and our phone bill was $800 just for that roaming. It was not even like for days. It was for partial of a day, and because his phone was just checking email and whatever, and so it's counted by data, like how much data you consume. So it's how like $1 or whatever to 100 kilobyte or something. So it piled up. I talk them. I know it's our own fault, so I'm not gonna have the phone company pay for it. But I did bag. I said I know it's my fault, and but is there anything you can do? Because it's so expensive. And they kind of pity on me. I was like, okay, let me see what I can do. And they gave me 50% off. So I still have to pay $400 for that mistake.
Yeah.
So $12 a day does not look bad suddenly, you know?
And it
compared to
also
how-
depends like what, so like the other reason I do it is I like the unlimited data. I usually don't make many calls or text messages. Typically when I'm traveling, I end up having to hotspot my phone. Just because I don't want to have to try to find a wireless
Wi-Fi,
network
yeah.
somewhere or anything like that. I can just hotspot my phone. And you know, I'm usually gone for like a week, maybe a week and a day or something like that. And it's just turning that on. It doesn't matter where I'm at in transition. And I've even like going around the world. I've even done Verizon's. They have
Your cat's tail.
my cat. So they have
That's the connection, the wired connection.
the wired connection. They have an in-flight and cruise option as well. That it's priced a little bit different, but
Yeah.
but when you're on long international flights, it's nice to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, especially if it's a working trip, you know, I'm usually on my laptop working or doing stuff, and so it's a matter of convenience.
And check out the
it's a matter
cheaper
of
one too.
convenience.
Like if it's 2 gig
yeah.
for a week for just to stay connected.
Yeah, I mean, I will be in regular touch given the time difference, you know, and
Yeah.
it'll be more like, you know, checking in maybe once
Yeah.
a day or something and just saying, you know, how things are going if there's an
Yeah.
emergency or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay.
And when you find
Thanks.
out what the other where she's going, if she's going to Penang, which is a very famous, popular northern island, and that's where I'm from. I was born there, born and raised there. So Penang, it's a small, tiny island the northern part of Malaysia, close to the Thailand border. It has lots of good food. Penang is what made me a foodie. So yeah, let her know.
right.
I mean, there's so much to see. Kuala
I'll
Lumpur, of
shoot you
course.
I'll shoot you an email when
Yeah.
I have a sense
So
of
I'm
her
curious what the
itinerary.
other place is now. But
Okay.
of course,
Just have her call you collect. Just have her get on a landline and call you collect.
Yeah, of course. That makes
but
sense.
here's the thing: if you get the data one, only data, like even limited, let's say 2 gig, for instance. When she's at the hotel, she does not need to use it. She can turn that one off because she has Wi-Fi. If she has like a cafe that has Wi-Fi, then she does not need to use it. So if you use it sparingly, you might be able to stretch that 2 gig out for 2 weeks for sure. I, for instance, when I go back, I actually buy a separate number, a local number, but I use a lot because I do a lot of live streaming there when I'm back home, and so that's why I think I use. A week, I can use maybe 15 gig or 10 to 15 gig a week when I'm there. Because I do live streaming, bunch of stuff that I use. So,
Right.
so you may not need that for sure. What do you have to say, Aaron? Do you have something too? I haven't.
Yeah, I bought this device it was B&H. They had one of these sales, and I bought this thing called Glocal Me. It's a mobile hotspot device.
I see.
It didn't work for me.
Oh.
I want to use it in Japan, but the problem is I probably should have set it up before I left the United States, and I wouldn't have had the problem. I waited till I got there, and
Japan is very strict with their, I mean, it might not. I don't think it's related to what you're experiencing, but Japan. My friend is now there. My best friend is from Japan, and so she goes back regularly for a long period of time. And when she needed an eSIM this time, she has to. You have to show a lot of proof that you're you have to, even eSIM. You know how eSIM most countries, you would activate it, you go there and you use it. Even for eSIM, she has to get her code, to scan her code at an outlet or at the airport so that they can check your passport to verify that you're who you are before they will allow you to activate your eSIM.
Wow.
So Japan is very strict.
Jeez.
And you can't buy just like a burner SIM card there too, at least back then. So yeah, but it's fun.
Crazy.
Interesting.
Anyway.
And then you just have Wi-Fi calling. So if you have an iPhone,
true.
you could just turn on Wi-Fi calling as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi somewhere. You can just do straight up Wi-Fi calling.
Is there lots of free Wi-Fi?
In Malaysia, yes. Yes.
Okay. That might be a way.
Cafes.
Japan, that's not a...
yeah.
Not much. It's difficult.
Cafes. Yeah, there's a lot of cafes. And most cafes have Wi-Fi. But good, tell her to enjoy herself, and I can't wait to hear what the other city is.
She will. She will.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Right. So fruitful. Thank you all. And if you watch all the way through, consider subscribing if you haven't yet done so already, and share it with other people. In fact, I think I'm seeing a pretty decent, for my channel, a pretty decent uptick in subscription. So I appreciate you all. And if you want to join us in the future, you can do so even before our next live stream, which is every Tuesday. You just need to go to the website, learner2learner.com, which you can see here, and then learn all about it, how to join us next time. See you next week. Bye, everybody.